We have been married for almost 19 years. We started dating in high school. We actually met partially through our church, and we never broke up. We continued dating through college, and then we got married quite young when we were both 20. We have 2 children, Elliot, who is 12, and Ethan, who is 10.
During the summer of 2018, I started having a lot of complications. I was having pains in different places all over my body, unexplained. I was talking to my doctor, going to get tests, ultrasound scans, and for a couple months there it was just frustrating. I was losing weight, having pain every night, and no idea what was going on. Everything was coming back negative, and just wasn't sure what was happening to me. So then in September of 2018, things were looking a lot more serious. I had continued to drop weight, was completely lacking in energy, difficulty going up even one flight of stairs, and my doctor was able to get a PET scan approved in case it was something more serious than we had originally thought. And the PET scan came back that same day, and it showed that there was a mass behind my organs and in front of my spine.
Lymphoma is what they were pretty sure that it was. I mean, it was scary news to hear that, your spouse has cancer. It was a hard thing telling our boys because it sounds like a scary thing, and so we sat down and talked to them, but we prefaced everything with our faith in God and our assurance that the Lord was taking care of us and would take care of Ryan and our family through the whole thing. And so it did have a way of bringing us together in prayer and just in our faith and trust in God to be with us through the entire process.
Also, they knew I was having these challenges, at home at night. We were now focused. We had something that we could put our energies towards, and a diagnosis. So in some ways, it certainly wasn't a relief, but it gave us a focus. I had to have a surgery October 1st of 2018. They had to go in because it wasn't an easy place to reach, and take a couple of samples of the tissue. My oncologist called and said, I have no idea, why. I can't explain how, but there's no sign of cancer anywhere.
We knew it was some kind of lymphoma from what multiple doctors were telling us, and so the idea of the biopsy was to figure out what kind of lymphoma, because there's thousands of different kinds, and it would determine what kind of treatment if he would need chemo or radiation. And so when we were waiting for the news, it wasn't like we were waiting to see what it was more what kind of cancer is it. So we were stunned to find out that there was no cancer cells.
Right. We had the diagnosis. What was the treatment course going to be?
Our faith was definitely strengthened for sure, because this was the first major crisis that we had experienced as a family, as a couple and as a family. Everyone has stresses and things in their life that are difficult, but you can look back and think of pinpoint things that are big deal things, and this was the first big deal kind of thing for us. And it was amazing that we had peace throughout the whole thing, and there wasn't any other way to explain why we would feel peace in the midst of a crisis, except that we really felt the Lord's presence with us. Right from the beginning, the first Sunday even that we went to church after we heard the news, we went to the altar to pray and to be prayed over, and we had so many people from the congregation come up and pray for him. And it wasn't just that day, but throughout the whole process, knowing and feeling the prayers of other believers. Being able to pray boldly was something that changed for me, because now I know that God has done this in our life, and he can do it in others, and he will. And it doesn't mean that if he doesn't, that there's something wrong with your prayer. Ultimately, God has the bigger plan and the bigger picture. But when you pray, you can certainly ask for big miracle things, because he's able.